Next category, family jewels. Now, not necessarily your jewelry, but the family jewels could be your best paintings, the things you really want to stay in the family. And those, do you remember I talked to you about getting that video together? About your things that you want to stay in the family, tell your heirs what they are on that video so that they don't think, oh, it's just, oh, this is probably costume jewelry. As a matter of fact, this is mine. All this stuff is mine, and most of it I found in costume jewelry boxes at thrift stores, and it's not costume jewelry at all. But many people don't know how to tell the difference. So, you know, with jewelry, with fine paintings, with really important books, for example, talk about that on the video that you're going to give to your kids. And it may be something like, you know, I've got 4 kids. I just give the video to all 4 kids. And when the time comes, you can ask them what I call in our business equitable distribution. You can ask them to all pick something where it all balances value-wise in the end. And usually you're going to need a professional, a lawyer or an appraiser to kind of walk you through that. But the family jewels are the pile that you should most document visually. And why is that important? It's important for 2 reasons. How many of you have insurance for appreciable merchandise? I'm not talking about depreciable. You have appreciable. 1 person, 2 people in the room. Appreciable merchandise is different from depreciable. Depreciable means the Herculon sofa, the computer, stuff that goes down in value. Appreciable means going up in value over the years. That is the stuff that's going to increase. Good paintings, good jewelry, good books, etc. Rare books, I should say. Very few of my clients have ever photographed or videoed their best things that they want their heirs to inherit. And while you're doing the 5 piles theory, if you're downsizing, a great time to get someone like John to come over and just do a whole sweep of those things. Give the CD to your insurance agent and say, by the way, I know these are appreciable. Why do I say that to you? Because I was expert witness in many cases over the fires that we had. And the insurance companies, which by the way have the tallest building in any given town, insurance companies like to say, well, she never said it was appreciable. And guess what they'll do? They'll take depreciation. Now that hurts if you've got a Chippendale sofa from 1770, because it depreciates to about $5. So the thing is, if you when you do your video like this, you say, this I know will go up in value, and give it to your insurance agent as well as your kids. And ask your insurance agent, don't you think it's time that we just put a rider, you know what a rider is? R-I-D-E-R, rider coverage with your homeowners. Really worth it. Have I done it? No. Now, your keepers. Things that you're moving to your new place, or things that you know you like so much that you have to have them. This is my glass collection, and these are the candlesticks that my son had on his altar when he was married. And these sorts of things I will never get rid of because I just love them. And I know these are my keepers. As regards my keepers, I need to give my own advice, and I need to actually video these and photograph these as well, which I haven't done. But these are my keepers, and I would suggest you do that. If you're going to be moving to a new footprint of a house, it's very important that you take photographs of these things so that you can bring those photographs to your new place. Why? I'll tell you. Exactly. It may not work. The quality of light, especially in Santa Barbara, changes from the Riviera to the beach. The light is so different. And this lady was asking me, wow, did you see that huge, great big taxidermy moose head that I was appraising? Why did it end up here? Well, they had a house in Colorado. It looked great in Colorado. It looked terrible on the beach here. Quality of light. So it's important to with your keepers, you know, if you're really good with the computer, you can get a CAD system where you can lay out your new house and see how the proportions work. But every new space is a different quality of light, and you're going to find some of your stuff that you loved is going to look terrible in the new house. So it's a good test market. And finally, this is what I call your piddly smalls. And I know we've got one British gentleman here, so you know what piddly is. Yeah, it's piddly is kind of your piddly smalls. Your piddly smalls are what goes in the garage. And this is what you're going to earmark for a garage sale. When you've got it all in one particular area, you are going to say, all right, now I'm going to have a garage sale or not. My suggestion is don't bother. Don't bother having a garage sale. You are going to spend at least a week of your life having a garage sale. People are going to mob you at 5 in the morning. It's not worth it because your average garage sale returns is about $2,000. So it's not worth it to do a garage sale. It's not worth the hassle. And frankly, it's not worth the exposure. We actually were the appraisers on record for Jonathan Winters. Do you remember the famous? So his family and our office were talking about, well, should we do a sale? They wisely decided not to do a sale in his home because of the liability issues. Many of my clients have been sued by people that have tripped over a rug at a garage sale. True? Well, it's true. And so it may not be worth it in the end. My suggestion is to donate those things. Take photos when you donate, and if you're donating things that are under 2,000 or actually under 5, if there's a group and it's under 5,000, you can actually, you don't have to call me. You can actually get a receipt from the organization for Goodwill or your church or whatever. You can get a receipt saying, you know, you donated, and then you fill in the value. If you need help with filling in the value, of course, our office can help, but you don't need me unless you're donating over $5,000 worth of stuff. Now, the IRS is funny like that because our office has been questioned on the category between $2,000 worth of stuff and $5,000 worth of stuff because the IRS finds that that's the area in which there's most margin for overstating the value. What do I mean? I had a call yesterday from a gentleman, and he said, my mom has left me 3 fur coats, and I think I need an appraisal. And I said, well, you know, those 3 coats have got to be valued at over $5,000 for you to actually want to have me work for you because, you know, if you're going to donate them, you really don't need me. And he said, oh, no, I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure they're over $5,000. So I said, fine, I'll be happy to do the appraisal. I did the appraisal. What are they worth? About $300. I said $250 to $300, which was my fee. I said, look, you know, you didn't need me. I didn't charge him in the end, by the way. But this is the category. What I'm trying to convince you is, don't, with the piddly smalls, don't worry about them. And I will tell you, look at me very closely. I'm going to say something that you guys will remember for the rest of your life. The smaller the object and the lesser the value of the object, the greater the psychic space it occupies. Very true. I've been doing this such a long time. It's not the big stuff. Can you imagine how long does it take for you to buy a new car versus get rid of that ceramic chicken that Aunt Mabel left you? Whole different scenario.